So fast forward, you got the Jamar Clark case. Now, from my expertise in education, when I got the call, Deputy Chief Arredondo called me. Rondo's pretty cool. I don't know him that well, but me in my role, I'm the Minneapolis Criminal Justice Reform Chair. So he gave me the call. Just want to let you know, a black guy's been killed. Just want you to have the information. So when I woke up, got the voicemail, I'm like, oh, okay. Was getting calls from the NAACP president, Nakima. She's like, hey, you know, I'm headed over there. I need you to meet me there. Cool. We get there 8:30 in the morning. We're the only ones out there. You got some people in the back, you know, just talking about it, whatever, sporadically. You see different people talking in different places. So I make it to the scene. I see a few guys I know. So it's like pretty cool. I'm like, hey man, what happened here? One of the guys, Lily, I don't know if you know Lily Powell, you know, we go back. So I see Lily, I'm like, oh, this is a blessing, seeing someone I know to help me sort this out. Lily said, I'm gonna take you to his sister. So I went right to Jamar Clark's sister. Please help me understand. She's distraught. Her nephew, or Jamar's nephew, is distraught. This her son. Hey, I see a 10-year-old boy saw it. You know, got a few other witnesses, the person who party it was. So it was a blessing that people would pull this together for me so quickly. So I'm like, okay, let's stand where it happened, let's talk. Automatically, I'm looking like something is wrong here. There's no tape, water, you know, is all there, but it's like I still see a little bit of blood. When I move things around, I saw blood. His cousin, Cameron Clark, comes. He's frustrated. What? They killed my cousin. It's a lot of emotion, but having a criminal justice education and to be a professor, I kind of know what you have to do as far as gathering witnesses really quick because testimony changes over time. Like, I mean, you look at research, your testimony can change from watching video and from all these different things, conversations and all that. So I wanted the fresh information. So I'm talking to different people. Okay, this is what you saw. Okay, you saw handcuffing. Okay, understood. Bring me the 10-year-old boy. We gotta protect this boy. And I told the mom, protect this boy. Like, for real, like, don't put his face on, like, protect this kid. That ended up changing, boy on face everywhere. I'm like, told you. But this boy says, you know, he saw him, he was handcuffed. Okay. So I got these people, the Nakima right across the street making phone calls to do the press conference and all that, because we gotta create awareness. And this is what I saw, this is, you know, my, perspective as well. So we there, I get all these testimonies, write names down. The guy Jason on the end of the, end of the building complex, he comes out, I saw it too. Okay, cool, so now we're pulling all these things together. They said we're gonna have an independent investigation. The Nakima called for it and said we want an independent investigation. Do not want Minneapolis police involved in any of this. So we call independent investigation, the BCA shows up. Nakima and I both know the BCA, not the people you really want handling officer-involved shooting. We know that. We've watched, we've seen things before. You don't want the BCA if you really want a thorough investigation. So
why?
They got a relationship, you know. So they right there in St. Paul. They go to conferences and stuff together. Like, man, it's like people know each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna really investigate you like that if I know you, and I really don't want you to, fall for this. So it's that going on, that buddy blue coat thing. So why they were supposed to just be investigating, free from bias or coercion or any of that? That wasn't what was happening. So once they pulled up, man, I'm like, dang, man, I seen the BCA, we said, hey, we want a different investigation. Like, I mean, it's been documented, we said that. It was like, no, we want the Department of Justice to come in or whatever. So we're trying to figure this stuff out. We have a press conference, the mayor and the chief of police, they trying to have a press conference at the same time. So right away, the divide was created because, I've been telling Chief Harteau, and I kind of got in trouble for it. I said a long time ago, Minneapolis is one bullet away from Ferguson. I don't know how many of you knew that, but got in a lot of trouble. People want to call Hamline University on me. People call Metro State, emails, all this. You should never say that. I'm like looking at the similarities. Like it's pretty similar to Ferguson as far as a lot of the disparities. You look at the economy. You look at who gets arrested more. You look at all of that. Pretty similar to Ferguson. And I said it from a educational or academic perspective. It wasn't a personal opinion. And I got into a lot of trouble for it, but we started meeting with Chief Harteau. And it was more arguing than anything. It wasn't like authentic conversations. So we had a relationship, sort of, with Chief Harteau. But when this happened, we created a quick divide. The mayor formed an allegiance with Chief Arto, which doesn't need to happen. You don't have to be connected like that. You know, as a mayor, you can do it, or you can just say, hey, we'll wait to see what happens. You know, sorry to the family, none of that happened. There was no apologies, none of that. Just, okay, they did their press conference, we did ours. They tried to control the media. We needed the media where we were to get it done. We did our press conference. I tried to go in there, talk to the guys. Let me see your cameras. Let me see how they face, whatever. I see the 6 cameras they have. I'm looking, hoping one of them will capture it. Wasn't confident that any of them cameras caught it. Hoping one from the door would catch it. That only made it to the sidewalk. So I did the work. That's my point. I did the work initially to see what I could see. Go back outside. We ended up staying the whole day. We had a rally at 3 o'clock. Black Lives Matter. All of us knocked. All of us, you know, we here now. Now we're going to take control of the street. That went from taking control of the street to going down to the precinct. Somebody said, let's go down to the precinct. We're here down to the precinct. Somebody said, we're going to stay here. What? I definitely wouldn't have thought of that. But that's how it is. You know, we all together, whatever. So I'm like, oh, we staying. Because at first it was just, you know, let us in. We got questions. You know, we need some answers or whatever. But somebody yelled it. I think it was Joey. Like, hey, we just gonna stay here until we get some answers. I'm like, what? Okay, well, guess that's, hey, that's what's happening. Because I got out there, you gotta think, I got out there at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Really early. Didn't leave there till like 11 o'clock that night. Like, it was an extremely long day. But it was like, we kind of heard what happened. You know, we tried to hold the family up. His dad was really going through it, you know, from being there looking and, you know, I said, man, we need a picture of Jamar. So he got to go get a picture. Really don't want to ask him for it. That's the picture you see everywhere. Got to put it on a flyer, put it on a flyer right away, telling people about it, come to the rally. Had a bunch of people out there, all emotional. If you look at that Twin Cities leadership film they got going around, you know, I was standing with the lady whose party it was, who told me everything, you know, very different from what Mike Freeman said, but I kind of felt good going out there fighting for justice for Jamar. I felt good. From what I heard, I felt really good putting my professional career on the line for this. Because you got to think, I'm at universities. If I'm wrong and my, you know, analyses and hypotheses are wrong, that discredits me on a number of different levels. So I'm going out here with a lot, you know, hanging in the balance. So we ended up occupying, and of course that first night was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, it was, were you there the first night? But it was a lot of emotion. It was a lot of stuff going on. People throwing pieces on the police car. The police just looking and provoking and saying different things. It was a lot that first night. And then, you know, we had to come back up there the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. And I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday was when it really went south. That's when they had their, you know, assault rifles. That's when they were shooting pellets. That's when they, you know, yanked a lot of the people out of there. A lot of things happened. It was a lot. It was a lot that night. That's the night, you know, you saw the gun being pointed to Keith Ellison's son. That's the night, you know, all the pepper spray was flying. DeRay McKesson flew in. And once he tweets or whatever, he's going pretty far. So, you know, he's like a big name in the Black Lives Matter movement. To see him frontline, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely bigger than what I was really thinking. So we went through a number of things, and you got to think over 18 days, a lot happened. A lot happened. I mean, you got to think. 5 protesters were shot, and we stayed. We didn't leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Big Bad and stuff, we at the hospital with them, and they hurt me emotionally. 2 of them were related to Jamar. So it's like, think about that. We here protesting for their family, and 2 of them get shot. So we at the hospital, talking to them, we come back. You know, we had Thanksgiving, dinner out there. We had community out there. We had a lot, man. Drumming one night, hosted events. We had, you know, people giving massages. We had tents. You saw the pictures. It was like, man, we really did. We had a porta potty. I haven't seen that anywhere else in the nation, I swear. And I traveled. Like, I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm like, ooh, with some serious order that's how to porta potty, because I'm like, well, I might need to take a picture of this porta. Like, 'cause I mean, even in Ferguson, when I was out there, it was like no porta potty type deal, but it was like, oh man, we out here, you know what I'm saying, in the cold, you know, got the fires, that caused a lot of controversy, but we always battled those things. Flew the NAACP president in, he's here now, meeting with the governor, or he met with him already today, but he flew in, and we activated him on some level. He became more vocal about these things as a result, but had rallies, shut down the highway, 43 people were arrested, 8 of them were juveniles, so 35 adults getting arrested, 8 juveniles. It's like, you gotta think about how that works when you got 8 juveniles about to get arrested. Cause I gotta go through every individual and say, hey, your mom or your dad, your guardian is okay with you getting arrested? Oh yeah, I gotta call your mom. Like, let me see, let me call. I swear there was mother saying, tell that boy to get his A off of that highway right now. I do not approve that. I'm like, huh, man, talk to your mom, man. Like, gotta go, everyone, man. You sure you can't, like, for real, like, you gotta understand this, man. You about to get arrested, they're gonna take you down to the jail. Like, I gotta do this process or whatever. And it was like, man, 8 of them got on that bus, got arrested for the cause. Love these young people, 8 Brazilian young people. So now I gotta meet them at the jail. People don't see all this. You know, all you see is the headlines. You don't see the behind the stuff, like scene stuff that we do. So we go to the jail. I get them, and that was just funny because I stayed with the juveniles. So it was like I waited to every juvenile. Cause I gotta see 8 faces. Like I have to see 8 faces in this jail, and I got relationships there. I'm a criminal justice educator, so I train probation officers and things like that, so I can see these 8. I see those 8, they all get out of there, no charges, which was a blessing. But that was a big deal. The governor called us terrorists, said you got shut down the highway. That's really dangerous. And all our narrative is just being black is dangerous. Yeah. Obviously, like, come on, look at the statistics. Like, we're not making this up, man. Look at who's getting killed. Governor didn't want to hear it. The mayor issued statements against us. You know, Bob Crow, the police union, called us thugs, called us all these different things, but we battled it. We stayed the course and kept going. Now, obviously, it didn't get us justice for tomorrow, but we made it clear that we could organize at a bigger level. So after those 18 days and all those different things, we uncovered a lot. One of the things that was critical that we learned was that white supremacists had a relationship with police departments. Mm-hmm. So that's why we could say that so vocally, is with so much passion, because you got to think, one of the guys we ran off, and some people seen that video, that was a pretty big video. When we got those white supremacists off one day, and this was the second day this white supremacist came back, when we got him down the street, he hopped into a state trooper vehicle. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the heck? Now that totally blew my mind, because we knew he was a white supremacist. It was clear, it was like, you know, because we had a process. It's like, who you here for? You know, it was someone, if you don't know you here for Jamar Clark, come on, man, like, you definitely shouldn't be here. You don't know who you just here, like, for anybody, like, so I'm asking the questions. Like, so we walked him down the street, he jumped in the car, state trooper vehicle, he got on the uniform. It's like, is this for real? We got the license plate. Okay, there's a connection. You think about the 5 protesters that were shot. The guy shot 5 people, called his friend who was a Mankato police officer and said, hey, I shot 5 people. You're a white supremacist. You got a video out. You put a video out the day before saying you coming down to the fort. Now you claiming self-defense in court? Like, you playing this. But I'll keep going. Called his friend, Mankato police officer. That guy said, man, I'm turning you in. That's a good cop. That's a good cop who say, you know, I know you're my buddy, but shouldn't have did it. I'm calling this in. That's a direct correlation, direct connection with police departments. And that's very dangerous for someone who has skin like me. Very dangerous. So I'm like, okay, so even though we didn't initially get justice for Jamar, we kept fighting. So during this process, I put out a lot of articles. We pressed no grand jury. You saw the petition, they were getting signed, no grand jury, no grand jury. It was a lot of things happening as far as no grand jury, no grand jury. So
we did a postcard at the same time, so you guys signed, a lot of you guys signed on postcards.
Absolutely, and it helped. All of it helped. So we were able to show the nation what it looks like when you go away from a grand jury for a police officer. If nothing else, we learned what the process was, because we don't see that. You know, he said, you know what, I'm gonna take this case on myself. And when you do that as a county attorney, you gotta actually expose everything you have. So that was a big play for someone like me who looks at, policy. So after the white supremacy stuff, after this, occupation, after them coming in, getting us out of there with bulldozers and all of that stuff, and they arrested 6 people that night when they came to get us out of there. After all of that, 2 days later, somebody made a proposal, I think it was Blonde Gang, made a proposal to give the Minneapolis Police Department $604,000 to form a barricade. Now they must have been, I don't know, drunk or stupid or something, because it's like, we stayed out there 18 days. You think we can come to a warm place and shut it down for a long time? It's like, you crazy, you gonna make a proposal, and they did it really quick. And we got over 200 people down there in 2 hours to contest it, and we were able to stop them from getting $600,000. But you think about that. You willing to spend $600,000 to build a fortress around the 4th precinct, but you can't actually clean up the communities around here. You can't put families in these homes that's dilapidated. You can't do anything else. That's why I say either they don't know, or they're just not really that intelligent. And I don't, or that, maybe they lack empathy. But I saw a lot of things there. We shut that down. It's like, okay, we got to fight for justice for Jamal. So we put that pressure on Mike Freeman. Mike Freeman says he's gonna take it up on his own. We put out press statements. We do a bunch of different things. I mean, like I said, we put out a bunch of articles. Why we don't want a grand jury? One of the articles I put out went far. It went far. Published it through the Star Tribune. A lot of people read it. Why we didn't want a, grand jury. He agreed. He'll take the case on. He took it on. Said it took him 30 hours to read through all of the material. I don't know how. 30 hours. I don't know if he reads. I don't know how he reads, but. Took him 30 hours to read through all of the material, and he came up with, Jamar Clark had a 1,000-yard stare. He said he was ready to die. He beat up his girlfriend. What else he said? We exposed 5 lies out the gate. Reached for the gun, and we caught him up on that too. To say someone's DNA, is on a gun, that doesn't mean I touched that firearm. But we found an article of him saying, it was a bunch of different things, but he acted like having DNA on a gun proved that he touched it. I can shake your hand, and you touch your pants. My DNA on your pants. It works like that. How can you, if he touched the firearm, why did you not have any smudge or any kind of fingerprint? And it's like you got it holstered too. So it was like, even though we didn't get justice initially, we exposed a number of different things. So that press conference was 30 minutes, 45 minutes or whatever, and we had agitation in there. The King and them disrupted and said you're lying, and they said a lot of different things in there. But it was like, come on man, you exposed all of this stuff and you told lies. The kid wasn't ready to die. People knew he wasn't ready to die. But it's like, you shape this narrative around him. He's a thug, he's been in trouble. The smear campaign started right away after they killed him. And you killed him in 61 seconds. Come on, there was no dialogue, there wasn't much of anything. And not only that, the 2 officers involved in that case have bad records. Both documented police brutality claims against them. And it's crazy, Regenberg got fired from the San Diego Police Department for using that chokehold on a guy who was biracial with the last name Clark. That's an eerie connection right there. It's like, come on, man, we got too much material. So from my lens, I felt comfortable fighting these things. So he said a lot of things. He said Jamar Clark had a 1,000-yard stare. I researched that. What is a 1,000-yard stare? Looked it up, and I put out an article about it. It was like 1,000-yard stare. I looked it up. It says a 1,000-yard stare is a term that was created when people were fighting in the war. They were so traumatized by the elements, just, dead bodies, them seeing things, smoke, all these things, made you have a 1,000-yard stare. It's not like I'm about to hurt you. It's more so, I'm in a tizzy. I can't really function. I'm not really there. So to use a 1,000-yard stare, it wasn't even used in the right context. It was used more so dangerous. You should have an empathetic approach if someone has a 1,000-yard stare. But in doing my research, I looked, Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times in Chicago, the person who wrote it up said Laquan McDonald had a 100-yard stare. What? I'm like, you guys using the same language. Y'all saying the same things. I don't know if y'all sharing information. I don't know if y'all like in cahoots or what, but to say he had a 100-yard stare, it's a lie. Even if it wasn't a 100-yard stare or a 1,000-yard stare, I'm ready to die. Why did any of the EMTs hear that? There were 3 EMTs on the scene and witnesses. Nobody heard him say, I'm ready to die. That's why I say, man, can we really get justice? Man, we got all this material and still get no justice? Makes no sense. So he put that out. Then DOJ, do their investigation. Lugar says the same thing. Based on the evidence, non-indictment. Now, we're putting the pressure on Minneapolis Police Department. We outlined the policies that were violated by the Minneapolis Police Department. It took 7 minutes for Officers Swarsea and Ringelberg to make it from the precinct to where Jamar was killed. And that's what, 1611 Plymouth Avenue. Why would it take 7 minutes if you're getting a call on a quote-unquote domestic violence? Well, it's a few blocks. It takes you 7 minutes. What are you doing? Because that's critical for a victim of domestic violence. It should have never been called as a domestic violence incident anyway, but to be called on a domestic violence, why is it taking 7 minutes? Do you not care about people who are victims of domestic violence? It shouldn't take 7 minutes. That's critical if you are in a domestic violence situation. Very critical. 7 minutes. Okay, to get 4 blocks maybe? Too much time. Not only that, when you're going, no matter how short the distance, if you're going in an emergency situation, you automatically cut on your lights. That activates your dash cam. Why didn't you activate that? That's a broken policy right there. Not only that, you get to the scene, you put this guy in a chokehold. Chokehold is banned. You're not supposed to use that. Chokehold, right away. All these things are policy violations, but the biggest policy violation was these 2 officers got in the same vehicle after the murder, and that's a big violation. You separate and you don't see each other, you don't talk, you don't, nothing. And they said they had no conversation when they were being driven back. Come on, man, I'm not stupid. Like I say, this is my craft, this is my expertise. I can read this stuff really easy. I teach it. 7 years of teaching and going through all this to a PhD, I know this stuff. And I went through the system, so I know. And they just trying to play us on these things. So we put pressure on Minneapolis Police Department's internal investigation because it's just not right. I mean, it's just not right. Flat out, it's not right. This guy deserves to live. I don't care what his background was. To lie and make that call and say it was domestic violence on his girlfriend. And Mike Freeman still hasn't came forth and said, I recant that statement. You need to do something. You can't say this was his girlfriend and they had no relationship. And Jamar was checking on her and stuff. It was like, you lied and said it was domestic violence and Jamar was being all these different things. It was a lie. And you killed this guy, and now you gotta leave this family and a community to be torn like this? It's not right. So that's why I wanted to just at least express that I cover everything as far as Jamar.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I'm asking, and I don't know if everybody has a clear understanding of what the narrative is that's being told from the district attorney's office, and then how the media takes the narratives from the district attorney's office versus the people who actually witnessed it, and how that shows up in the media, and how some of the work that you guys did and how you approached the media shifted that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I talked the article, Silencing Black Voices, I think I posted as a spokesman reporter. It showed, you looked at all of those witnesses. Tito Wilson, 10-year-old boy. All of these witnesses. Mike Freeman said he had, I think, was it 20? It was like 20 witnesses. All of their statements were thrown out because it was everything hung on whether he was handcuffed or not. It's like, I'm not even focused on that. Whether he was handcuffed or not, he did not deserve a bullet in the head, regardless. Handcuffed, no handcuff, it's dark. I heard the guy from the VCA, and that guy, he's the same guy I seen on the scene for
Philando too. He was the same guy, the first person on the scene for Philando getting killed. This guy, man, he's a problem. He's nonchalant. He got the fedora. He think he like a movie detective type. Like he think like like Sean Connery or somebody like Magnum PI dude. It's like come on, solve this stuff. But it was like he approached to say he was asking this 10-year-old boy, okay, so if you say handcuffs, were they gray or were they orange? But this is investigative style, so I'm just trying to, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. This how you investigate? Cool. But you already discrediting this little boy by trying to say, like, if you really saw handcuffs, it's dark. You know, you could kill when it was dark. It was nighttime. And, you know, then the question is, why is this 10-year-old boy up? Was it mom? Like, it's a lot of negativity that comes with those. They taped off right here. The car was over there, headed towards, what is that? What's the street? Lexington. It was on Larkton, headed towards Lexington, which was maybe 2 blocks over. Is that Lexington? Snelling. Yeah, so it was like, the car was facing Snelling, you know, hit it eastbound. Look, we couldn't get all the way over there, so I'm like, let's go down as far as we can, look at these tail lights. Okay, 2 tail lights in place. So I'm like, automatically like, okay, that don't seem right. So we sat down, they towed the car, family is there, they upset, shouldn't have killed them. You know, I knew them, I grew up with them. We got a lot of that on the scene, a lot of emotions. People were yelling at the police, you know, y'all killed them, and y'all standing there laughing and joking and playing. It was a lot of energy. So a few of us, 5 of us said, hey, let's go over to the governor's mansion. And obviously, you know, some of us who were at the precinct, so we like, let's go over to the governor's mansion, you know, wake him up, you know, because we got to do something. We got people here, we got energy here. We understand you got to get something. You got to contain it. In our perspective, if we let that go out, all that energy, all them frustrated people, we don't know what might happen to the city.
Right.
We don't know what might happen. People need to thank us for having that occupation, because it was some, man, if you saw, it was some disgruntled folks like, forget that, eye for an eye. Let's bust this thing up. Let's do, like, it was so many people with that rage. Like, no, let's go in. It was like we had a space. So going to the governor's mansion, we went over there. You see the pictures now, man. You see, we went over there. And I'm like, I'm traumatized. Like, because I'm like, are we occupied? I kept asking people, like, hold on, like, are we occupied right now? Because I'm not really in occupation mode. But we went over there. One of the artists drew up a justice for Philando. We put yellow tape all around the governor's mansion to let them know, hey, somebody was killed. It's wrong. We need to hear from you, our governor. So that first night was critical. And I stayed the whole night. You know, after he got killed, we stayed all the way to the morning and beyond the morning. I stayed from, 11 o'clock at night when I made it to the scene all the way to 4:30 in the afternoon the next day. It was like the nights, they just blend all in. So just being out there, we just holding space. We need to hear from the governor. Somebody has to speak out on this. Waiting on, you know, the police department to say something, issue a statement. We need to hear some things. So we just led the charge. We still occupied over there. So if any of you want to go over there, we're still there. They just finished grilling. So if you want to go over there, well, we occupy. I mean, they took our tents down and they arrested what, 40-some people from over there last night. Some of them family members, but just giving you the layout from what I have. So we stayed out there all night. Media stayed out there all night. We gave speeches. Fusion, you know, caught me giving a speech at 3:30 in the morning. You know, this is after, you know, the night he was killed. So this is, you know, really essentially the next day. I was giving a speech at 3:30 in the morning. It was raining, but we kept saying, okay, you speak now. You speak now. Why are you here? And we only had maybe 25 people. The crowd dwindled as the night goes on. But the next day, you know, it's energy. Everybody coming back, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, Diamond comes around the corner. Like, we standing there, we giving chants, and this was captured. I think, you know, you probably seen it. New York Times, all those folks right there, we just talking to each other. We lead chants. Me and the King, Marquise, a few of us, we lead chants. Jacob Louder, we all lead these chants. And we look around, we just hear, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. And it's Diamond. That resilient woman who captured that with her significant other dying right next to her. That's some hellified, man, that's some hellified resiliency right there. I mean, to stay calm, to say, I know you didn't do this, this isn't right, is he dying? Like, she don't even really want to look because it's so traumatic. And she held that. She came around the corner. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. So we like, oh, like it was out of nowhere because we focused on this space right here. She hit that corner. We all went over there to her. She told and eloquently told what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have happened. He told him, you know, I'm licensed to carry. You know, he initially asked her for his ID. I need your license and insurance. He going back to reach and say, hey, you know, I'm licensed to, you know, carry whatever. We were cooking up so many different things. We said Saturday we're gonna set it off Saturday. You know, we like, man, weekend we have more people. We ain't got to worry about people's schedules. You know, most people off. Saturday we cook it. You know, we cook it up. So as you probably saw yesterday, we had a rally at Lauren Park. First, just community grassroots. We didn't put no name on it. It wasn't an NAACP thing because we get in trouble. We get a lot of trouble from the national brand. So I'm like, not even gonna say NAACP. This is grassroots. Whoever want to speak will speak. So as you can see and how it's been documented, it was just people spoke. It wasn't an NAACP thing. It was just community folks. So people came out. We wore red shirts to stand in solidarity with the lives that have been lost. We definitely want to acknowledge the children, the child killed in Minneapolis. That was Danny Gibbons' relative. He's a big part of, what we do as far as Black Lives Matter. So we want to acknowledge that as well. So majority of us wore red shirts, and we took to downtown. We marched through the streets, and then we went to the block party at the Basilica. Mm-hmm. We had a little standoff there or whatever. Had die-ins, some of them got in. We had confrontation with the police. This is a sacred space. You guys partying, acknowledge that a black life was lost. Can we just get that acknowledgement? We understand this is your space, but if we don't disrupt your spaces, that you're comfortable, and you're supposed to be a religious space at that. Do Black Lives Matter in your religion? Does it matter to the Basilica? We gotta have those conversations, because if you just partying and doing all that stuff, I'm mourning, I'm grieving. I'm around family members who are charged up about this. How can you just go on with your day without acknowledging it? So we bring it to your face, whether you like the tactic or not. We bring it to your face. Somebody was killed that matter. And of all things, this is a guy who has a clean past. That's why I'm like, whoa, like you always talk, like you hear that stuff, was he a criminal? With Jamar, you always heard, was he a criminal? It's like, it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't kill me. Like, regardless of what my past looks like, you shouldn't kill me. It doesn't justify you putting a bullet in my head. But this guy had one of the cleanest records, and he worked with kids. Come on, man, who doesn't love that? There's somebody who's working with kids who looked up to him. One kid said that first night, man, I looked up to him so much. You see how I wear my hair? You see how I wear my clothes? I got it from him. He idolized, these kids love this guy. So it's like, oh, we gotta stand up for this. We gotta do something for this, man, because it's like he shouldn't have died. He shouldn't have died. And they teach you when you're licensed to carry to let the officer know, hey, I'm licensed. He followed protocol too. So it's like, man, we gotta get justice for this. But we took to the streets yesterday, and you probably know what happened last night. You probably seen some of the stuff from last night, but man, I swear, man, it feels good standing in solidarity and actually disrupting in that manner, because
I don't think everybody might not know.
Okay, well, I give an overview. So Black Lives Matter Minneapolis, they initially said they were going to go to the place where Phil was killed, and I'm like, dang, that's a long way. So we had our thing from 4 to 6. And I'm like, I knew they were kicking it off at 7 to start the march. And I told everybody from there, we had 300, I think it was documented, we had 300 people in Minneapolis, downtown, walking through the streets and stuff with us. But I'm like, man, let's get over there. We got to go over there and support. There's going to be a lot of people already there. We're occupying that. So we're going to get a large group there. And now people know from the Facebook event, we're going to get a large crowd. So I'm on my way there, and I'm in no real rush, because I'm like, man, that's a couple miles. And I didn't talk to them about it. I knew something was going to get shut down. I was figuring it might be a highway, but I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't talk to them because I was doing the Minneapolis thing. But it was like, okay. And when I was driving over there, I'm really taking my time, because I'm like, I do not feel like walking 2 miles. Like, I'm really not in the mood. I just walk all through downtown, walk through the city. Like, I'm not really trying to walk that far. But when I got stuck on the highway, and I said, they just shut down the highway. I'm like, let's go. Let me get off this thing so I can go support, because I know people will get arrested, whatever. And it was a lot happening. It was a lot happening. While we organize, while we're on the ground, we understand what's happening. We can tell people to get, lock arms, be careful, watch this, we need milk, or we can do all those things. There are people who are not always coming in for that.
Yeah.
And they come to our things. If you notice that the 4th precinct, there were anarchists coming, there were black Israelites, different religious beliefs, and all these, they come to our stuff because it's like we support that to an extent, but we think we should take it to another level. That don't always get shared. It's like we get hit for it because it's like we're the ones throwing it, but they don't really separate the ones who come there for violence. Because if you know we trained, like come on, people know I've had so much training as far as organizing. I won the community organizing award in 2005. It's like I know organizing, and a lot of them were throwing things. People were on side top of the bridge. I thought the bridge was gonna collapse. I swear, like that was in my mind. Like this bridge is gonna. There's too many people on there. We got the music playing on there. We on the highway. And it's shut off. 94 is completely shut off both ways. I don't know how far it went, but it was like, man, we out here. We're gonna stand. We're gonna let the nation know, man. We're gonna ride out for Phil, man. Like he shouldn't have died. So we're gonna stand and we're gonna do what we need to do. But I hate a lot of what we went there for got overshadowed because even in the little interviews I had, they want to constantly ask me, what do you think about the violence? Chief Axtell went on and said, it's a disgrace, it's shameful. Mayor Coleman, same thing, it's a disgrace, it's shameful, whatever. But they didn't talk about how we were treated as organizers. Like, I mean, if you look at any footage or film of me, I'm trying to keep the peace. I'm keeping the people comfortable. You okay? All right, you can say your chants, you can say whatever you need to do, but understand, don't walk past this line. Keep your arms locked. They telling us to stay back, but they moving in, doing all the right stuff. And for me to get pepper sprayed the way I got sprayed, it was like, man, oh man, I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, man, I could not catch my breath. You say, any of y'all seen that video I just put out? Man, I could not breathe, man. You gonna hit me? And I'm one, like, I'm constantly talking to people, okay, you want us to get off this exit right here? Can we let the children leave? At one point we were chanting, let the children leave. Let the children leave. We put all the kids on the back of the truck we had there, like let them leave. And that's when they really kicked it off. That's when they sprayed and baton. If you look at the footage. And I'm like, okay, there were people throwing stuff at fireworks. These people were on the highway at the top. We on the highway, we on the road. They're up there shooting fireworks down, like all this stuff, throwing things down, bottles and bricks and all this different stuff. And it's like, we're not doing that. We constantly saying we're not doing that. And even when we do that, we were getting sprayed. And we're on the ground. So it's like, you going to spray us because of the outside agitation? Similar to your, damn, man, I don't know if it was 200, 300 law enforcement officials there. I don't even know. You can go get the problems. Like, don't harm us for that. Like, we really are just protesting using our right. But, a lot of that stuff gets overshadowed, and I'm not worried about my well-being. I'm okay, I'm fine, but it's some kids, and I definitely think about Gia. She got hit in the back of her head with a baton, and she just kept holding her neck. And I don't know if she had neck problems in the past, but Gia just kept the whole time. It's burning. It's like, okay, we're going to the hospital or whatever, and it's like that stuff gets overshadowed. But nonetheless, we're going to keep, we're going to keep rising up. We're going to keep. We're not going to stop this whole summer. I'm cooking up, man. I'm not lying. Like, it just can't keep happening. I can't keep getting prosecuted just for the color of my skin. That's not gonna happen. I got daughters I'm trying to see after. I'll be damned if that stuff happened to them. For real. If they get with Sandra Bland out or whatever, I'm not protesting. I'm taking a whole different route, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that, man. Don't do that to mine, man. For real. Like, don't even try it. For real. I'm just being perfectly honest with you.
I feel you.
Don't do that to mine. Like, I swear, for real. I love everybody, but you do that to the girls I'm raising, the ones I love, wake up to, kiss when man, don't do that to mine, for real. I'm gonna take a totally different approach, right? I'm not lying. If I die for it, I die for it, man. Don't do that to my kid, man, for real. So I'm trying to stop this now, because I don't like to see any life lost. Anybody die, it's like, oh, I know the impact. A family is hurting, people are going through it, kids are. So it's like, for me, man, I'm trying to stop this now and create a system that works for everybody, because it doesn't work well. You think about how victims get treated when they've been sexually assaulted. Look at Brock Turner, sexually assaulted, unconscious woman. Then the dad say, man, he's getting this time for 20 minutes of action. And it just goes. And we move on from it. He got 6 months. And he might not even have to do it in jail. He might have to do it on house arrest now. where's the incentive for the victim to come forward when they've been sexually assaulted? There's no incentive, because when you go on the stand, all they're gonna do is rip you apart. When did you have your first kiss, your first sexual experience? It's not built to work for people. The system is not built. That's why we say the whole damn system is guilty as hell. It's not built for women to get justice. It's definitely not meant for black and brown people to get justice, or any people of color. It's not meant for that. It's meant to keep certain people locked out, and on some level, it's population control. Okay.
I'm just wondering, what is...
First of all, let's be clear about the term black on black crime. That's spit from a white supremacist ideology. Black on black crime is not a real thing. It's an economic thing. Because I mean, if it's really black on black crime, we'll see middle class blacks killing each other. We'll see upper class blacks killing each other. It's a poverty thing. For real. So that black on black crime, that's just what they use to make it seem like we're more dangerous to each other. Because when I work with the Latino community, they don't say, hey, come over here and help me with this brown on brown crime.
Right.
They don't say, hey, when I go to the white community, they don't say, come help me with this white on white crime. They don't do it. It's a highly racialized term to make you think like we're just more dangerous to each other. Now, our violence rates might be a little higher, but you look, it's directly associated with economic status. Directly associated. But for me, I've always cared about it. I just don't make that kind of work public. So you never hear me talking about what I'm doing in those communities. I've been working with gang guys forever and doing it effectively. So you ask about some of the groups I've run with kids who've been ganged up. I've done some of the most effective work. I just don't highlight it. You ask some of these guys that's caught up in how well they know me. They might know some other people, but they mess with me. You know what I'm saying? They call me, I go to the jails, I talk to them, I deal with them. So for me, I talk to them, but right now, it's just not gonna stop anytime soon, because they emotional. Like, they highly emotional right now. And you know, some of them had things happen to them that shouldn't have happened. It's not a justification of what they're doing, because you definitely shouldn't be caught up in it. But I don't want to be a hypocrite because I was in it. You know what I'm saying? I got shot up. I shot people. Like, that's already documented. Like, so I don't want to be a hypocrite to them, but I wanted to stop as well. You got to do this, but okay, I stopped doing this. Now what? Now what? This is going to get me money. This is going to get me, respect. This is going to get me all these things. And I mean, it's a lot of it is, cognitive function, man. These young guys driving off impulse, man. Right now, it's like, oh, they hurt my cousin. I'm not going to stop. I'm killing these niggas. I can't. Whatever. It's just war mentality for them. Even in the midst of what's happening to us on the police side, a lot of them just not ready. At 15, you couldn't have told me to stop gangbanging. After I got shot when I was 20, I wasn't hearing that message. That's why I don't support it. That's why people always say, why you not protesting for black on black crime? That don't work like that. Because while you doing that, they still loading up into it with each other, fighting. They don't even notice that. When I got shot, they hit all kind of rallies and stuff. I ain't care about that stuff. I'm like, good, hold your rally. Keep the police and everybody over there. Because I got it. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't, it don't work like that. The rally is good for victims, though. Like, for the victim's family, it shows them they support it. It shows them they got people. Yeah.
Because I think when we talk about the community crime versus systemic crime on us.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter was never created for that. They were created, for, police. Right. Police brutality. That was the structure of it. To stop. It came to be after Trayvon Martin was killed. Lisa Garza, and then they got together and they said, we got to do something about this. So they just made a hashtag. They didn't really know it was going to grow into a movement, but it was focused solely on police. So BLM, and us, we're the only NAACP that's in a Black Lives Matter network. Other NAACPs are not associated with BLM as hard as we are. But with us being in the Black Lives Matter network, we care about police, but it's so many other things that I focus on because I'm a criminal justice educator. So I'm looking at, we're about to start a Lime Lakes NAACP chapter. We actually, at least people in there who feel like they're not being treated right, now they can contact us and say, hey, this is not right. They're giving us expired food. They're not treating us well, so I can still cover that. But then on the court side, I still got to handle that. So even though I'm in the Black Lives Matter movement, I still care about those other things. But BLM, that was strictly created for law enforcement. But for me, it's not an NAACP thing. It's just, I just care about these things, So, but I am the criminal justice reform chair for the NAACP. So we're doing a restore the vote thing. We're actually trying to end solitary confinement for juveniles too, because that's something we don't think about when we think about the crime we see in Minneapolis. You don't understand, these guys are taken out to the Loop, because most of these kids come back to Minneapolis and Ramsey. Ramsey and Hennepin County, this is where most of these young people come back to. You take them out to Mesabi, you look out there, They've been sexually assaulting kids out there, physically abusing kids. That's why they shut it down. And now they're talking about how to reopen it. Same thing with Boys Totem Town. People being sexually assaulted out there, therapists sexually assaulting kids out there. The heck? And trying to break them out and stuff. So you think about our kids who get in trouble. A lot of stuff stemming from school. They end up in the system, get a probation officer, don't follow those terms, end up in Hennepin County Homeschool, Boys Totem Town, Wasabi, Woodland Hills, and Duluth. They go to all these different places. We've got 26 kids out of the state of Minnesota right now. 26 kids out of the state, so they're either in Iowa or Glen Mills in Pennsylvania. We don't know what's going on with them, but when you go through solitary confinement as a juvenile, it psychologically damages you. There's research on this, and I put out an article on that. Like, I want to educate, so it's like you psychologically damaging these kids, and then you placing them right back in a place with their family that might not be the healthiest situation. And this parent hasn't had any training, any new things, so it's a recipe for disaster. And if you look at research, having a juvenile record, I mean, most adults in the adult correctional facilities have a juvenile record, majority. So that's how the school to prison pipeline is created, and that stuff plays out when you psychologically damage them in solitary confinement, and then you place them right back in the community. No new resources, nothing really new for them to do. They still around the same clique, they're around the same negative forces, and they go back to, most of the time they go back to alternative schools. Most of them are District 287 kids, which means they go out there and they just tell you, stay out of trouble. That's it. I ain't gonna tell you how to thrive, I ain't gonna tell you how to be. We just want you to stay out of trouble. That's how I was treated. I'm like, no, I'm smart, man. I'm in gifted classes, I'm trying to mess with my brain. Even when I went to prison. We need to fix your thinking. No, give me an opportunity. I'll be just fine. I will be just fine. You give me an opportunity, I swear I'll fly straight. They didn't provide it, but I, still made it, regardless. But we need to think about how they psychologically damaged in facilities. Then they're placed back in communities, and then they end up back in trouble. So a lot of them are the ones with the gang stuff that we see. But
when we were at the governor's office, didn't somebody speak about the high percentage of kids who are arrested as juveniles that are arrested on school property? They're arrested at school.
a lot of them are, which is crazy. I mean, you think back they used to have in-school suspension, they used to have after-school suspension, different things like that. Now, you get a court date. And it's like, you usually get a court date that fits while you're in school. So now you got a court date and you miss a day of school. It's like, how is this structure from? But a lot of them do end up in the system from something that happened in school. That's why we talk about a school to prison pipeline. And educators hate that. Educators hate when you say that. Like, at least they vocalize that to me. Like, stop saying it's disrespectful to teachers. It's like, well, stop doing it. Because, a lot of them don't know how to manage the classroom. So that's another thing I teach teachers. You got to understand, you got a class of 26, 27. You got a few who gonna be class clowns. You got a few that's disengaged. You got a few short attention span. You got all these different things. You got to know how to manage this as a teacher. Sometimes you got to be a lecturer. Sometimes you got to be a facilitator. Sometimes you just got to be a friend. Yeah, sometimes you got to be a parent friend. A lot of them don't know how to be interchangeable. And it's like, you just get the problem out the class. Yeah, a lot of times you want to get the problem out the class, but it's like, what does it look like to keep that person in class? You can utilize them. So that's what I show people, that one who's angry or disengaged or, got some bad news.
Just into special ed districts.
Okay.
They don't train the teachers either. Like, I think by design, a new teacher will come into a special ed district with no tools on managing class.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
And you talk to them about it, they're like, well, I don't know how to deal with these kids. I don't know how to treat them. It's like, man, you're working with kids that are mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And explosive with behavior or self-harm or they're high anxiety and you don't know how to manage a class. And this is a class with like 10 or less.
Absolutely.
This ain't even your 20 to 30,
Yeah.
regular mainstream school. This is 8 to 10 at most, and you can't even manage a class like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's by design.
Right.
If you teach them not to manage their class, then it supports the whole prison pipeline theory because
Absolutely.
they don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter because these kids are probably going to do anything anyway.
Absolutely.
So they set the bar low for these kids,
Yep.
and these kids get used to it.
Definitely. That's why. Didn't I provide training for your kids? How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Okay. And that was some of that was managing classroom dynamics, but it's like a lot of them, don't even know how, like you say, don't even know how to manage the classroom. So what happens is some students get criminalized, while some students get more empathy, regardless of whatever, regardless of race of the teacher. Some people have a lens. If I don't believe that you're supposed to be a doctor, I think you can only work at McDonald's, I'm not going to give you the harder task. I'm not going to really challenge you and do all those things. It's like, I'm going to invest in the ones I like. That's what I see teachers doing, even on the university level. They always take on people they like and people who identify with them and do things they do. When I see people picking kids for, for like, I want to take this kid in for an internship, it's like, man, I see what you guys doing on this university level. Like I say, I'm watching. I see who's getting these interns and who's not getting offered anything. I see who's going to Amsterdam to study international criminal